Hi everyone, you're through to Nothing Unscripted. Once again, we're having our second UK episode, and we've had lots of episodes over the last 1 year. My name is Oluwatobi Loba Omolere, and I am your host for the UK edition. And today, we have a really interesting episode, an episode that we think would resonate with very many nursing students and nursing professionals. For students, it's something they would be able to relate to in its entirety, and for professionals, it will bring back bits of nostalgia. And I personally wish that you would enjoy this episode. Please do like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Share with your friends, share with your family, share with students, and let's keep Nursing Unscripted going. This podcast is proudly produced by Nursing Conception Initiative, and you can go through our social media platforms to continue to see many of the things that we do as an organization. Today, I have with me my friend, someone who is my friend personally. He's a registered nurse and a bachelor's degree holder. He currently practices in the UK, and his name is Clement Oni Oluwaseun. Please, can you introduce yourself, please? You're welcome.
Why are you leaving out my? Why are
Your
you leaving out
CV.
my?
You're a big man.
I will not take that introduction from you. I think I will introduce myself anyway. But at least you could have mentioned my nickname.
Your nickname, Sherubawo. Old never young, see never dry.
Maybe we should not go there. Hello viewers, my name is Clement Oluwaseun. I'm a registered nurse. I graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Obawan University.
Agbaye, that's it. shout out to every alumni of Obafemi Awolowo University.
So okay, I graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and that's 2019, I think. And then 2020, when COVID came, that was when we had an induction. So graduated set of 2019, but I left school 2020.
That's one of the signs and symbols of going to a public university.
You don't have to remind me that my parents don't have money to send me to private university.
I didn't say that. Anyway, let's go into the main point. It's so nice to be on the podcast with you. I've been wanting you on this podcast for how long? For how God knows when now.
Don't make it look like you have Peter Obi on your podcast.
Right. So today we'll be talking about something my friend knows so much about. We'll be talking about failure.
As per specialist in failure, where I be?
I didn't say that. But we'll be discussing failure.
You should be a man. Own up to your words.
We'll be discussing failure.
Okay.
We'll be discussing challenges with nursing school, universities in nursing, courses, going through the years and taking courses, failing courses, dealing with these challenges, because many people pass through it. We get to hear about people finishing with first class, people finishing with multiple awards. I wasn't fortunate to finish with first class. I wasn't.
I have something to say about that, but
I wasn't fortunate to finish with multiple awards. But we graduated, you see. And there are many more people that just graduated. There are many more people that had challenges in nursing school. So while we go out there celebrating the achievement of people who did well, we need to also talk about challenges that people face in nursing school, how to deal with it, because people need to start talking about these things, right? So yeah, we'll go into the question without further dilly-dallying. How did you find yourself in nursing?
This former Cardinal Governor El Rufai wrote a book and titled it The Accidental Public Servant. Maybe if God wishes and I write a book in future, I'll probably title it
Accidental
Nurse. Because my journey into nursing was sort of accidental. Growing up, I idolized a journalist named Deji Aleshinoye of EKTV. I want to be another Deji Aleshinoye. But my father being a physics teacher, a foremost one at that, will not have his firstborn go into any other course apart from a science-related course.
Science student.
So, first jam, second jam, and then the third jam, he double the chance, collect jam form, and then, go into pre-degree, OAU pre-degree. And then, after first contact, He had his score of 72, and of course, medicine will not work with that. And then we look at the next best alternative, pharmacy. But we happen to have this family friend who is also a lecturer in OAU, Mr. Aloba. And then he just told daddy, Daddy, she just come here, she nursing. And then he proceeded to open my father's eyes to the potentials of nursing. So apparently, this man's wife is a nurse. So I think it explains why he knows so much about nursing.
Yeah.
And then I said he opened my father's eyes, not my own eyes. And then my father, following on that tip off, sort of coerced me into picking nursing as my first
your
choice.
choice. Well,
and then so
we should be thanking your
I think
dad.
that was just it.
We should be thanking your dad for making you a successful man, joining the best profession in the world.
Yeah, I think we should be thanking him, but we should be thanking Mr. Aloba, as well.
For speaking to him. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Aloba, for giving us this gentleman as one of our colleagues.
Gentleman.
One of the important forces in our profession. So can you give us a run through of how studying nursing was? I mean, passing through from 100 level to 500 level.
Oh, I'm probably not the best person to ask that because like unlike most people, I do not have a smooth journey in terms of my nursing education.
I think everyone's journey was not smooth.
No, you can't say that.
Really. Some more than others.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You have a point. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, after the whole rush of pre-degree, the enthusiastics and all of that, and then I came into nursing OAU, and it's meant to be a 5-year course, but I mean things happen, and I had 2 extra years. That's why I said I'm probably not the best person to talk to in terms of.
So it's a 5-year course.
But I spent 7 academic years on campus.
No, you had 2 extra years.
Yeah.
Plus.
No, let's not talk about the
plus and minus of.
No, let's maintain a state of ceteris paribus. Everything being equal.
All right. So you've brought us a bit through how it was having 2 extra years in nursing. Now in universities generally, we know other courses are allowed to like fail a course in the first year or second year or in any year apparently, different apart from the final year, have carryovers, carry those courses over.
Yeah.
For us, it was different.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to carry courses over. You are allowed to resit exams, and a maximum of how many then was it?
I think if you fail 2 courses, you could resit.
Exactly. If you fail 2 courses,
if you fail more than 3, that's a repeat.
If you fail 2 courses, you resit.
I think if you fail more than 4,
you are going to be withdrawn. So it was chaotic. It was just challenging. You were allowed to fail 2 courses, and then resit those 2 courses. 3 courses you repeat. Above that, you are entirely sent back to your fathers.
Looking at it from the inside now, I think I appreciate that kind of a system in place. Number one, as nurses, we are dealing with lives.
Yeah.
You can't afford to not to know your onions. Really.
Yeah.
You can't afford not to know your onions because you are dealing with life where a single mistake can end a life, and then that can cascade into multiple reactions.
But don't you think withdrawing people is like giving up on them?
It's not giving up on them per se. I don't think so. Before we get to that point of being withdrawn, there are criteria.
Yeah.
They won't just withdraw somebody else fail a course, and they won't just withdraw somebody else fail 3. I mean, it takes you to fail 5 courses or so for you to be withdrawn.
Well, it's very easy to fail 5 courses.
Yeah, I understand it's very easy to, but it's not very easy to pass all of your courses if you are being sincere.
It's not very easy to pass all of our courses. I wouldn't agree.
It's not very difficult to pass them as well.
Okay, I'll let you have your way.
Coming from somebody who's had 2 extra years, so if I'm telling you it's not very difficult to pass those courses.
Coming from somebody with multiple receipts. I mean, I know how easy it is to pass.
So, I think people should listen to me more if I say it's not very difficult not to pass those courses.
Okay. All right. I would give you that. What was your first experience with failing in nursing school? I understand your first year was 100 level.
Yeah.
They were going to be like tests. There's tests before exams.
Yeah.
What was your literal first experience
of failing?
Yes.
Well, so I won't forget that course, CHM 101.
That's chemistry.
White House course.
Yeah.
Funny enough, there is test and then there is final exam. So in my test, I had 20 over 40 in my test. So final exam, because pass marks was 40 really. So final exam, I just need to have 20 over 60 just
To
to,
get that
just to
40.
pass.
Yeah.
So it's not something I expect will happen. And then, to be very honest, that was my first failure in life in terms of
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I never failed.
Pre-degree, you've had 70s, over 100.
70 is not a failure.
Your jam, you've been, your literal
I've been having
lowest
250,
scores was
260s,
250, 260s.
so that was my first experience of failing in life, so to say, and it was a big one because in the chemistry I had 20 over 40 in my test, and
So you were already at average.
I mean, so why wouldn't I get 20 over 60?
60 in exams, yeah.
And then, but this is what happened, really. Why? Because I had over 60 in the exam. So I had a total score of 29 in CHM, and then that was I had to repeat part 1. So this is what happened, basically.
So in part 1, you are not allowed
you can't
to resit.
No. You can't carry over a course in part 1.
So if you fail a course in part 1, you literally repeat that year.
Yes. I don't know if that was still operating in OAU nursing now. I don't know. But as I went
I mean, I don't think it's just OAU. Most of these policies applies in many schools as well for medical schools.
I can talk about OAU.
Obviously, yeah.
So this is what basically happened. I was preparing for JAMB again in that year because I still want to, study medicine. So I wrote my JAMB.
Yeah.
And then I think a week after was exams. And then probably because I over prepared for that JAMB, I overstressed myself, and then I got sick when it was time to write the school exams, and then we were starting with CHM chemistry. Six like another exam very well, and then exam came, and then I had but being a realistic person that I've always been, I told my father immediately that I don't think all is going to be well with that exam.
Yeah.
And then I told him the reason and all of that, and it was a matter of fingers crossed. And then it came, and then but the exam itself, the result itself came, and then it's failed. So because I was sort of expecting it, so it wasn't so hard, and because I had supportive parents, to be very honest, they weren't so hard on me on the failure. But I think the hard part of it was, coming back to school to recite our exam, and my mates are in part 2. I'm coming back, and that, funny enough, that was the only course I was taking.
You were taking just chemistry.
Just chemistry.
And your mates had already moved on.
They've already
repeated just chemistry.
They've already gone to having anatomy, physiology, biochemistry.
So an entire academic year was just chemistry.
Just for chemistry,
wow.
Yeah. So, and funny enough, it was just CHM 101, not even just first semester.
Yeah.
Second semester, I had nothing to in.
Wow.
So, but it's so hard psychologically seeing your mates. Because I see my mate every day. You see your mates go to class, and then you are stuck in your hostel doing nothing. Your roommate are asking you, guy, they go class today, and then you just have to cook up story today, cook up story tomorrow. But at the point that I just have to talk to my friends that, guys, I had I had an extra year, and then I had to study before I moved to the next class. So psychologically, it was very hard, to be very honest. But then in terms of coping, I had supportive friends, I had supportive parents, and then I had supportive lecturers. I have to be very honest about that. Dr. Olagunju was there to pick my pieces up. Dr. now Professor Akin Somisoye, but then he was a doctor,
Then
he was there to pick my pieces up as well. I go to his office to go and cry. I go to Dr. Olagunju's office to go and cry. These people listen to me. They let me express my emotions. They are not dismissive. So the support system was there.
So despite the fact that you had problems in those courses, it was still lecturers in the same school that supported you.
Yes.
And your parents gave you all the necessary support that you need. Yes. I think it's a very, very important
So let me just say, failure itself is not the thing, but it's what happens after failure.
After failure, yeah.
So that is it. So in my own case, what happens after the failure was a fantastic one. The support system was there.
The support system was there. Wow, that's beautiful. And that was just your first experience.
That was my first experience.
And what was the second one?
So second experience was actually, after I cleared the CHM, whatever,
you moved on,
2,
yeah.
And then my colleagues are in part 3 now, so I had to do part 2. And that part 2, I failed again.
I think we did that part 2 together.
Your memory is sharp.
Yeah, I think that was when we met. That part 2. And which course did you struggle with in the second 200 level?
So I remember the courses I feel it was anatomy, biochemistry, and then microbiology and parasitology.
Okay,
so what we call micropara. Then.
So you had those 3 courses. You had issues in those 3 courses.
Yes.
And when you were repeating those classes, did you do those 3 courses alone?
No. So in part 1, you have to do the one you failed.
Yes.
But if you repeat from part 2 upwards, you graduate. You have to take that year
everything again. So you repeated the second year, and you did all the courses, both the ones you passed and the ones you failed.
That's right.
And is throughout nursing school, if you have to repeat again,
You have to do everything.
Again. Definitely. So 100 level was just because you were still in doing physical sciences.
They will say that time when you're in 100 level, you're not yet in the department.
But when you get to 200 level,
you are in department. Yeah.
So how was it doing everything, even the one you passed over again? Was it easier because you had done it before?
It's actually harder.
It was more difficult.
It's because when they come to class and then they start teaching us the anatomy, and then I start flashing back. When the lecturer is saying it, I can complete what the lecturer is going to say.
Yes.
Because the moment will just come back.
Yes.
So it was kind of hard on me. In fact, it was even harder than the one I have to do just because for everything the lecturer is in, I can actually complete it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question is, I ask myself, then why did you fail this course? Why are you here again? If you can preempt what the lecturer will say next, then why are you here again?
Mm-hmm.
Because virtually everything they say I can recollect. When they are saying it, I complete it in my mind. And then it becomes a question of,
what happened?
What did they do here? So it was very hard. And again, you're having to do all of those courses again, and it was just so hard, really. It was so hard.
So now,
but again, the support system was still there. Like I said, it's not the failure itself; it's what happens after the failure. Yeah.
So you said, now waiting you do here. What really happened? So what factors do you think contributed to the result? Because you would not tell me you were not prepared for those exams, because we prepared together. Most of those exams, you spend time preparing more than myself.
It's it's just a team margin, really. Microbiology and parasitology, I think I had 40.
Can you say that again? It's just
a thin line
between passing. So you agree it is very easy to fail?
I did not say it's not very easy to fail, but I said it's not so difficult to pass as well.
All right.
Yeah, I think this will justify my point.
Yeah, we can move on.
So let me justify what I said earlier. Right. Because in microbiology and parasitology, micropara, I had 47%.
Over
50.
So in nursing school, pass mark was not 40.
It was 50.
It was 50 for all courses.
For all courses. I had 47%. And when the result came, and then it was a bit bad in terms of the number of failures that we had, and they wanted to probably, sort of upgrade people. Use that word, upgrade people. And then the upgrade cutoff mark was 48.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting at 47 point something.
Wow.
So when I said it's easy to pass and it's not so difficult to fail,
yeah.
If I've had probably 0.5 more to my mark, I would have entered the cutoff for being upgraded.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have done a receipt instead of repeating the whole year.
Yeah.
Because that was what the closest to after having a receipt. Because the other two courses I actually failed them woefully. I had low as 40s, 42 or 43, I think. But if I had 0.5 more in my micropara, it could have pushed me to be upgraded, and we could have probably the story could have been different by now.
Yeah, that's nice.
So if I say it's not so difficult to pass, or it's not so difficult to fail,
just maybe you know what you are saying. Just maybe. So. You talked about something about upgrading. So from there, I can pick that sometimes lecturers are very compassionate and they just want people to just pass. So maybe it's not lecturers' fault sometimes when these things happen.
I don't think there is a lecturer that will set out for students to fail, because that's my own personal thoughts. Now, I don't think if I'm taking a course of 100 students, for example, I will be happy if 50 of them fail. In fact, I will not even be happy if any of them fail to start with.
Yeah.
So I don't want to think there's a lecturer that will set out for students to fail. But I mean, if you don't put in the effort, or if you put in the effort and sadly it's not enough, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, from what I can say, they have to upgrade people. That means they have to bring the bars down.
Yeah.
If they are being honest.
Yeah.
Upgrade people who have scored 14. Pass mark is not 48, bro. It's 50. And then if you are saying, okay, if you score 14 and above, we'll let you go. That's been magnanimous.
Now, to be honest, between nobody would hear about this.
I don't trust politicians.
No, I'm not one.
You were one before.
The exams in OAU, nursing school, were they difficult? Were they from the pit of hell?
Oh, well, I don't graduate, so I feel talk my mind. Bro, those exams, I don't know where they come from. No, to be very honest. Because apparently we have colleagues in other schools, we talk about exams and
interact. We attend events.
Are you studying? Are you going to Harvard to study, or why are you asking me these questions? And to be very honest, it seems to be more difficult than what is obtainable in other schools.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree
and
with that.
we have lecturers that were teaching us, that go to other schools as well, maybe side gig.
Yeah.
And and then when they set question for these other schools, and then it's not as tough as what they give to us in OAU, and then you wonder what's happening.
Maybe the lecturers are just trying to uphold the standard.
So other schools not get standard.
No. We're not discussing that here. You would agree with me that I value other institutions. I believe they had a very, very good education. However, I just think the standard in Ife was just a tad bit.
I think really because I think Ife is the first university in Nigeria to start the baccalaureate
degree
program. Our lecturers, most of them were product of that
school
institution.
Yeah.
They went to Ife, and then they had this Mama Kujore. They had, they were product of high standard,
Yeah.
which they think they have the moral obligation to
keep. Yeah.
So I think we were victims, or rather
beneficiaries. Yeah.
Victims
then, beneficiaries now, because it's obvious.
So then we were victims of the lecturers trying to uphold that high standard, or even trying to outdo
the standard, yeah.
Which itself is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
We must be very honest. So I think that was all really happened.
Okay. Yeah, good. So you've talked about having support systems, your parents being graceful, your lecturers supporting you, but it is still not enough. Mentally, how did you cope?
So, really, I'm this person that I'm self-motivated, but the truth is, self-motivation without support system is still not going to be enough as well.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of factors really to help me keep my sanity. After my first part 2, after my second part 2, the people who came in together, they were already in part 4 when I was still languishing in part 2.
Yeah.
So, and then the department not too big now. We see each other every day. Your guys are going to posting, but they are there rushing to HSLT.
The babes you were chiking 2 years ago.
You don't have to say that, sir.
All right.
That's not possible. So mentally, it took a lot of factors for me to actually keep my sanity, really. And but one motivating factor that I won't ever forget, there was this point I was close to giving up. I was tired, really, mentally. Even after the support system and all of that, I was close to giving up. And there was induction ceremony. And then I reluctantly found my way into the hall for the induction ceremony. And then when I got into the hall, when I saw how glamorous inductions could be, I told myself, if not for the sake of anything, for the sake that I want to experience
this
the joy of being inducted,
induction.
I want to experience the joy of being an inductee, I must finish from nursing, OAU nursing. So each time I'm tempted to giving up a thought, I flash back to that induction ceremony and say, guy, if you give up, the guys induct you, the guys celebrate you as well. So I think that was my biggest motivation, really. That was my biggest motivation. I want to be inducted. But sadly, COVID came.
Eventually, you were not inducted.
I was inducted.
Eventually, you did not have that glamorous.
Not that glamorous fashion I wanted it to be.
For our viewers, Obafemi Awolowo University is the kind of university that they celebrate induction magnanimously.
It's literally the biggest event in our lives.
It is massive. It is big. We need to give a round of applause to our lecturers and everyone that plans inductions in Obafemi Awolowo University. It is a very, very big event. You just want to have the pleasure of experiencing something like that. So you literally walked into the hall and you saw what the glory at the end was going to look like, and you wanted it so much.
Yeah, that was actually my biggest pushing factor, really, not to give up on the OAU nursing dream. But like today, it's actually still pained me because COVID came and then I had to have my induction
online induction.
I mean, what kept me in school? I mean, it's not fair, bro. But it is what it is.
I'm sorry you had to go through all of that COVID.
Yeah, I came to your induction and I saw how you guys were, they gave you this plaque. I was already anticipating, I was, fantasizing in my head how my induction would be, and Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Well, these are me and my nurse.
But you've gotten over that now.
Of course.
Yeah, lovely. So you're a very confident person.
If you say so.
How did those experiences, did it affect your confidence? If not, how did you stay confident through all of the experiences?
It's affected my confidence, both in the negative and the positive realm. So initially when I see my mates going to classes and I'm stuck in hostel and all of that, and my mates are on 400 level, I'm 200 level and all of that, my confidence was on the low. But again, self motivation came in, induction push came in, and then from nowhere, of course, my father too, my parents basically, they were really, really supporting, and I have a couple of friends that were there through thick and thin. So at the point in time, I I read some books about self confidence. I just developed this confidence out of nowhere that people were telling me that I'm too confident for somebody who's had 2 extra years already. They said it to my face, guy, waiting they happen now. You know that you don't forget, you don't get 2 extra years. Waiting they talk, stuff like that. But I mean, and then came politics as well. And the politics played another important part in building my
Building your
confidence.
confidence. And that was like politics at school level, doing.
Well, I did politics at school level. I did non-national, non-local.
Yeah.
I then did politics at Igboraye level.
PDP.
I was a PDP executive.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I remember.
Alongside yourself, sir.
I think I remember those sad.
So I went into partisan politics
Those
when I was in
packages,
school,
yeah.
with unfortunately or incidentally, person who happened to interview me as well. We were both PDP executive at
ward level,
ward
was it?
level,
Yeah,
unit
unit
level, and all of that.
yes.
So I think all of those things got together actually jigged up my confidence really.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
And then another important part I'm not going to forget, index. If you're not saying quiz and debate competition played a very important part in my confidence.
You were going for debates,
we had
activities.
amazing mentors, we read books and all of that. So
I think it's important when people feel to try not to go into their shell, to not act as if it is the end of life.
No.
Sometimes it is easier said than done. Because it is mentally draining sometimes.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So like you said, the point is if you are experiencing any form of failure, maybe not even academic really now, but the concept is academic failure, so let's limit it to that. So if you are experiencing failure in school, I think the worst mistake you do is to retreat into your shell. Not speak to anybody. Keep mood. If care is not taking you, slide into depression that way. And then if care is not taking you, will not come out of it. So I think in my own case, I was out of my shell, really, because I've never been the person that would retreat into their shell. It's not me. So I was also out of my shell, still speaking to my colleagues that are far ahead of me, getting myself involved in other things, other extracurricular activities, to just fill up the time. So even though I have time, but I don't have that time to myself because I was involved in other activities that would take my mind off, even when thinking about failure.
So did you think some of those extracurricular activities were one of the factors that affected results or things in school?
Ironically speaking, thinking about this now, no. Because in my part one, I was not involved in any extracurricular activities, so to say. I wasn't into politics in my part one. I wasn't into politics really. And then I still failed. Really. Yeah. And now, the part two that I failed, I stayed off politics completely. I stayed off extracurricular completely.
Yeah.
And I still failed. And now, the only year I had a straight pass was the year where that was the year I was most involved in extracurricular activities. Sports, I was in the non football team, politics, both non OAU, non national, partisan politics, PDP, which I had committed every week, party meetings and all of that, midnight meetings and all of that, meeting politicians and all of that. But ironically speaking, that was the year I had this straight pass. So I wouldn't say extracurricular activity was responsible for those results, no. Because we are talking about evidence-based now. Evidence no day.
Wow, beautiful. So did your colleagues ever treat you differently, your friends?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like I said earlier, I had friends that were supportive, and of course I had friends that were not going to associate with me because levels don't change.
Yeah.
So
how did you handle it?
I focus on those that helped, and then those that decided to move up. I wouldn't blame them.
So you were just friends with people that were friends with you, and you just let things go.
These are things I can't control. I can't control how somebody will see me.
How somebody feels about you. Yeah. I think it's just the power of having a strong mindset, and it's important that as professionals we have a build on our mindset and how we let issues affect us.
If you don't have a hold on your mindset, you will be messed up.
Yes,
You will
yeah,
be messed up.
I agree with that. Is there anything you think you should have done differently?
Now that's a bit of a hard question because really, maybe I would say I would have studied harder, but then to be very honest, I think I give it my best. But it's just a case of when your best is not enough.
Do you think those experiences made you a better nurse?
Oh yes, they did.
Wow.
Because like I said somewhere earlier, we were dealing with that. We can't afford to make mistake.
Yes.
So those experiences kind of make me, always double check my
Extra careful.
yeah. So they always allow me to double check my actions before I do them. I always double check my thoughts before I express them out.
Yes.
And then even as a professional nurse today, before I do anything, I double check. Sort of, I won't say I'm paranoid, but sort of, I don't want to make a mistake that will cost, because those 2 years are actually costly. So I don't want to make a mistake that will be of that magnanimity
Magnitude.
again. So
And what is failing a course compared to losing a life?
I mean,
Yeah.
because I remember asking one of my lecturers, "Man, don't you think it's a bit punitive to make people repeat?" And one said, "My boy, you are dealing with lives. We can't afford you to make mistake with people's
lives.
Or do you think if let's imagine somebody who is a nurse has treated your mother and then they've given the wrong injection because they were, not properly, concentrating or anything? Because she told me, I don't think you are failing because you're not brilliant. I think because you're not concentrating enough. That's what she told me, which I think I probably agree with her.
Yeah.
And then she said, imagine a situation where somebody has given your mother the wrong injection that probably paralyzed her because she was not concentrating enough. How would that make you feel? So I think at that instance, I understand why I had to be 100% in whatever it is I do.
Yeah.
As a professional nurse, So
that's beautiful. So talking about being a better nurse, how has your professional life been? What experiences? Shortly, give us places you've worked. How much impact you've made so far?
Well. So one thing is, again, thank God I went to African University because the foundation was rough, but the rough foundation actually paved the way for whatever it is it's happening with me today.
Yeah.
Because there are things that we had a sound theoretical knowledge.
Yeah.
And it is when I started practicing as a practical nurse that I could apply those theoretical background to whatever it is happening, and it made more sense. So in terms of my professional background where I've worked, after so if you're a BNSC that you've done BNSC, you have to do internship. So I had my internship at Federal Teaching Hospital at
Ido-Ekiti, yeah.
And then after internship, you have to go for NYSC. And incidentally, don't ask me how it happened because I'm not going to tell you. I had to have my NYSC at Ile-Ife again, at the Comprehensive Health Center.
Where you had your bachelor's degree. Okay.
That's why I said incidentally.
Okay.
So I had my NYSC here at Comprehensive Health Center, Arubiwe, Ile-Ife.
In Osun State.
I know most of you students will know that place because you go there for posting as
community posting.
And then after my NYSC year, I joined the Japa bandwagon. I Japad. I migrated.
You relocated.
I relocated. Well, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
I relocated to the United Kingdom, where I currently practice as a nurse. So that's a bit of it. But when I said OAU affected my the profession I had in OAU affected my professional life positively.
Yeah.
There is this incident that happened when I was in internship here.
Yeah.
We had we do presentations every month, and then it was my turn to present, and I gave that presentation, and then our coordinator came and said, "Remember, what school did you finish from?" I said, "Oh, you." I said, "Wow. How come you have this sound knowledge about presentation skills?" I said, "Because it's just inborn. It's just basic thing we have to do in school." I said, "Because this is the best presentation I've ever attended." And for because we had 4 OU students, 4 OU graduates in my set for internship. For every OU student that presented, she had to give that comment like, "You guys are special."
And if they ask me why, I would say because Professor Enoye will not take less. Because prof would never take less.
And in the UK where I'm currently practicing, I went for an interview. I did not get the job really. I did not get the job because I lost out by 2 points to the person that got the job eventually.
Yeah.
But they called me and they said, although you do not have the job, we are going to keep your presentation. We have to seek your permission to keep what you have presented to us because this is the best presentation we've seen so far in this department.
Wow.
So we are not giving you the job, but we are keeping you something from you, which was my presentation really.
And that was very encouraging.
Well, so I think I'm still going to shoot my shot at that department again. Because they have something that belongs to me.
There's an impression already.
You can be on that.
So what message would you give to your younger self?
Why not my younger colleagues? Why my younger self?
Your younger self. If you look at yourself through all of those times and you could speak to your younger self, what would you tell your younger? The reason is because there's somebody going through exactly the same thing right now.
Well, so to my younger self, for somebody going through that situation, as maybe don't reply to your child. That would be the worst mistake you would do. Don't keep to yourself. Seek help. Seek help. Talk to people. Talking is a therapy.
Yeah.
Talking is a therapy. Silence will do you no good. So I don't think I think I handled it the best way I could have handled it.
Yeah.
I did not reply to my child. I spoke to people. I spoke out. When I needed help, I spoke to people I needed help with. And so if anybody will make the mistake of keeping to themselves, it's going to be their doom, really. So that is it. I don't think I would have handled it differently, really, looking at it again.
That's beautiful. So we've done a great job talking about failure, nursing school, and bits around things on that topic. I think we should loosen up a bit and talk about more fun and interesting stuff. So what do you think?
Bring it on.
I'm sure you must have seen conversations on social media about nurses being terrible partners, being cheats, being promiscuous, being this and being that. So despite all of those conversations over the years, you went ahead to get married to a nurse. Do you agree with all of these
so first
propositions?
of all, who would have had me married to?
So if you didn't marry a nurse, who would you have married?
If I not married a nurse, I would have married a nurse.
Maybe if you didn't marry a nurse, you might have married the
The thing is, I don't know. I cannot talk for people. I don't know what people's experiences are. But so I can only talk for myself and a few of my colleagues that anyway. But first of all, I think the stereotyping that nurses are this, that, they are that. I don't know. It's stereotyping. It's a single story, really.
Yeah.
So I think we should outgrow that stereotyping by now. Come on, bro.
Personally, I think people are just looking for who to blame for their.
We should outgrow that stereotyping by now. This is 2025.
People are looking for who to blame for their life choices.
I think. And if you look at people pushing this narrative, really, if you really dig deep at people pushing this narrative, they are people that it's either they wanted to be a nurse for a reason or the other, they could not be nurses. People who are quacks, who have issues with nurses, or and probably people who have had one or two bad experiences with nurses, and I'm trying not to generalize, but that's fallacy of generalization. So
for me, it's quite shocking that literally everyone wants to get married to a nurse. So, doctors want to marry nurses.
But the same nurses that we are saying they are this, they are that, they are that. Now, literally, they are the hottest cake in the country right now.
So, doctors want to marry nurses. So nurses want to marry nurses. Engineers want to marry nurses. There's literally everyone in my DM every other day telling me, please find a nurse for me.
This is what people say.
But all of a sudden, nurses are. So why are you all interested in promiscuous people?
For me, really, I'm married to a nurse, and I thank God I made the decision to get married to a nurse. Because, if, like I said, if not a nurse, it would have been a nurse. So because it's one of the best decisions I've made so far.
I'm also married to a nurse. So.
Oh, are you?
No. Yeah, I'm also married to a nurse.
Well, maybe I should say I took a mentor in you then. Yeah. And I remember one of our guys back then in school used to tell us, well, and you boys want make sure because when was saying it, we were thinking, we
did not understand. But now we do better. Why wouldn't you want to marry a nurse in the first place?
For example, for instance, marrying a nurse means that I married somebody who understands me wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Both from a physical point of view and from a professional point of view. And nurses are beings that have seen it all, really. They've seen it all, and so they have an enlarged view of what life is.
Yeah.
So who else will I marry?
And nursing is a female dominated profession.
If you say so.
In our class then we had like 80-something just females. In that, among those 80-something, you find the extremely beautiful ones, the ones with very, very nice attitude and behavior. You find people who are down to it, and you would also find people who are not enough. It is just the dynamics of human beings. So when I go into a female dominated profession, eventually you find that person for you. You see,
Yoruba will say,
exactly.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
so, you know.
I mean, I wouldn't say the same for female nurses. I'm getting married to male nurses. Female nurses are free. They can get married anywhere.
You know, that's another argument.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
go into that. But marrying a nurse is the best decision I've made.
Personally, yeah, marrying a nurse is my best decision as well.
Shout out to my nurse.
Shout out to my nurse. We love you. We love you. So we've gotten to a bit of end of asking you questions. We're just having fun now, okay?
Yeah, I think.
So this is like a this or that game. No thinking. Just go straight.
Okay.
No politicking. Just go straight to the point. No dancing around the main point. Just go straight to the point. This or that.
Okay.
Posting or classes?
Posting.
You prefer going to postings?
Class.
Theory exams or NMCN in Nigeria? Theory exams or OSCE exams for council?
Theory, please.
Prefer theory to OSCE?
Yes.
You want to write those exams?
Yes, please. Theory, please.
What's the problem with OSCE?
OSCE, because now I'm being very frank here now, no jokes. Our examiners in Nigeria, they need to do a lot better really, when it comes to practical exams.
Practical exams,
they need to do better because they have this attitude of scaring students,
scaring you, putting you on the spot. NMCN council exams or NMC UK OSCE?
I beg, give me this one difficult more.
Which one do you think is more difficult?
Give me council exam that is not OSCE in NMCN. I will take it.
You take it. Accident and emergency or ICU?
None of the above. I don't like any of them.
You are saying this or that. You need to pick between your demons. A&E or intensive care unit?
Well, reluctantly, A&E.
Reluctant. What's your favorite procedure?
Favorite procedure. Teaching students.
Well, teaching. So you have no single favorite procedure as a nurse?
A nurse is a teacher.
Absolutely.
And teaching is part of the procedure within nursing.
Absolutely.
So what do I say to that?
Your favorite? I'll take that. So you are a community nurse by background. I mean, you worked in a comprehensive health center, so you have background of community nursing.
Definitely. Yeah.
So you would know bits around antenatal care.
I don't know what you're going to ask, but before you ask that question, let me just say this: midwifery I hate it with passion. I don't like midwifery.
Okay.
I don't know if the word hate is allowed here, but no.
You don't really fancy me. Personally, I don't really fancy midwifery too. I mean,
so I don't fancy midwifery.
There's no point waking
up
people's private.
But there is an aspect of midwifery that appeals to me very well. Antenatal care.
So you love antenatal care so
I
much.
love it.
That's it.
I love it.
So
the part of antenatal care that appeals to me the most,
yes,
is where there are some weird songs to say.
That is actually where I'm going to.
Is it?
That is where I'm going to. So I will sing these songs. And I want you to sing along with me.
Break it down.
Kí ló mọ̀mọ́ fine.
Ọmú ni.
Kí ló mọ̀mọ́ fine.
Ọmú.
Máa fọmọ lọ́yàn.
Máa fọmọ lọ́yàn f'oṣù mẹ́fà. Kọ́mọ lè di doctor.
Kọ́mọ lè di lọ́yà. Máa fọmọ lọ́yàn f'oṣù mẹ́fà. Ẹgbẹ́ gbòòsà mẹ́ta fọ́kọ mi o.
No. Ẹ bá mi gbé gbòòsà mẹ́ta fọ́kọ mi. Ọkọ olóríire tó fún mi lóyún. Èmi náà gbé gbòòsà fára mi. Èmi aya olóríire tó
gbára dúró. Gbòòsà.
That is the aspect of midwifery I love.
Every
aspect of midwifery.
It was so beautiful to see all of this, part of nursing.
That's so interesting.
And you see, people watch those videos or people experience those things, and they don't seem to understand the importance of those aspects of.
So the thing is, I'm not a midwife, but the thing is, I think the concept behind all of this is that, when people are pregnant, it tends to be overwhelming. It could be
Yes.
depressing, really, and then so
Yes.
they need to have something that will,
That
brighten
losing
their
them
mood,
up.
share them, and it's also serves as a form of exercise.
Yes. Yeah.
So they shake their whole body, they dance. People are really pregnant in their 8-9 months of pregnancy. You see them shaking their bum bum, dancing, and all of
happily,
that.
praying.
So no.
And they make friends with
Yeah,
themselves.
with
They
themselves,
discuss.
yeah. So, and then they come again, share their experiences and all of that.
Yeah.
So that is not taking into cognizance the clinical significance of what they are
Of
doing.
what they are doing.
I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the social importance of
Social
what they are doing now,
importance.
really.
Yeah. Which is actually clinical in
In
itself.
itself,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So it's been a pleasure. We've had a very long time here discussing about failure, life
maybe not that long.
generally. It's been so nice. I need to appreciate you for choosing and deciding to share this part of yourself with us, to bless us with this.
Well, like you said earlier, somewhere in your introduction, when you celebrate success, I think you should also try to listen to people who have had it the other way. In
The other
fact,
way. Yeah.
one of those preachers will say, don't listen to people who have not failed before.
Yeah.
Because if the journey is just so smooth that they've not experienced any form of failure, they don't have enough experience to tell you. But the good things are, I failed in the context of failure, but I also succeeded.
Yeah.
So it would have been a total failure if I had not finished from my nursing school.
And you are a success story, still being written currently.
Paul.
And we are so proud of you.
Paul.
What I would say out there is people need to understand how much effort is being put into training in us. Why? Because they are dealing with your lives.
Mm-hmm.
They are being carefully trained. It's one of the issues we talk about when we talk about quackery, when we say it is not right for people to just be trained somewhere on the backyard for 6 months, 1 year, without theoretical knowledge, and just make them do procedures. They go around killing people. You can see how much a nurse is carefully cooked and packaged to deliver care to you. Please, everywhere you go, continue to campaign against quackery, continue to say no to quackery. If you need references and points to talk against quackery, go to our YouTube, watch our movie on Masked, watch Alabere, watch our several other podcasts. You would have information. Go on Punch, type Nursing Conception Initiative. You would go online. You would see our newspaper publications. You see, and very soon this year, our research will be out in collaboration with Institute of Nursing Research. You would see more and more about the work we have been doing campaigning against quackery, because you have to just be a nurse to practice, to treat people. Thank you.
Talking about quackery now,
Yeah.
I remember the guy in my community back then in Ekiti State that, became paralyzed because he was injected where he should not have been injected by a quack nurse. It's a sad story because this guy till today could not walk again, and well, I don't talk about it.
There are just so many people out there, lives being lost, fatalities related to quackery. All of this can stop. All of this can stop with you, with me.
All of this must stop.
It must stop. Yes, but people say it as impossible. It can stop.
It can stop.
And thank you for being a change agent and for choosing to join us in this journey to eradicate quackery. We have now come to the end of this episode. It's a long one, and if you have watched till this present moment, we want to appreciate you. We genuinely hope that you've learned a lot. We genuinely hope that you've taken a point or two, and we hope you come back same time when we post to watch our podcast, Nursing Unscripted. Thank you so much, Nurse Oni Clement Oluwaseun, aka Sherubawo. Hopefully next time when we call you, you would be here to discuss with us on our podcast. We won't be talking about failure then. We'll talk about other things. Let's say bye to our viewers. Bye.